In this example, we're going to go through the steps of building a form from scratch. Click the New Form button. In the top right, click Create New Form. This takes us to the preview area. Click the Edit Form button. This form has one pre-created section with 3 sample questions contained within it. You can edit these questions or delete them. I prefer to delete these questions by deleting the entire section and starting fresh. You can do this by clicking Delete Section, then Confirm. Now we can start out fresh. A section is a screen view of questions. Multiple sections are separated by Continue buttons. Now let's create a new section. Click the Add New Section button. Here you can enter the name of the section, which does appear on the form, a detailed description of the section, and a checkbox to mark all the questions in this section required. This is not recommended. This box could be left entirely blank. We're going to title this section Example Section. Now that we have a section, let's start adding content. Let's start by creating a subsection title. Click the plus symbol, Add Content to begin. This will produce a new Add Question content modal. Click to place your cursor in the question text field and type in the subsection title. Click the question type field, and from the choices, select subsection title. Subsection titles can only be created in full width. Click Continue to save. Check the preview area to confirm your progress. Let's build 3 single-line text response type questions. Last name, first name, and I prefer to be called, with one date field question, date of birth. Click the Add Content plus symbol. The Add Question modal appears. Click to place your cursor in the question text field and type last name. Click Question Type and select Single-Line Text Response. This is the default question type. Because we want these 4 questions to appear on the same line, I'm going to set the width of each to 1/4. Gathering information like last name is important, so I'm marking this field required. The next 2 fields, first name and I prefer to be called, are set up the same. So I'm going to zip right through that. The 4th field we'll need to collect a date. In the question text, let's describe the date information requested. In this case, it's date of birth. Click the question type field and select Date field from the choices. This type field produces a pop-up calendar for your client to choose a date and automatically converts their entry to a standard format. The 4 fields that we need for the first line have been created. This takes up the entire first row of questions. In this next row, we're going to create 3 separate phone number questions: mobile phone, home phone, and work phone. I'll create the first one and then fast forward to the next question type. From the question type, we're going to select Phone field. Because we want these 3 questions all to appear on the same line, we're going to set the question width to 1/3 for each question. I'm only going to mark the mobile phone as required. You can decide what information you think should be marked required. Check your progress in the preview area. Now, let's create 2 multiple-choice questions. Click Add Content. Enter your question in the text box. Select multiple-choice single answer as the question type. Since we want these 2 multiple-choice single answer questions to sit side by side and take up the entire line, we're going to set each to half width. Let's mark both of these questions required. Since this is a multiple-choice question, when we click Continue, it opens the Add/Edit Options modal for this question. Here, we can add as many options as needed, clicking the plus symbol again to add each additional option. For example, if there were only 2 options like yes and no, then you would create 1 option for yes and 1 option for no. Here you can also delete options and continue to add as many as needed by clicking the plus symbol. Add new option. Once you've created all your options, click the Submit button. Now I'll quickly create the next field. Next, we're going to enter a paragraph. A paragraph type field can hold 1 paragraph or a group of paragraphs. Click the plus symbol for Add Content. Click Question Type and select Paragraph Text from the choices. Here you can enter the title of the paragraph, but it's not required. Enter your paragraph text in the paragraph area below the question type field. Manually type in your text or use the copy and paste function to bring in text from another document. Paste as plain text and adjust the paragraph's format. Use the controls at the top of the paragraph text box to change the text size, its alignment, and more. Most paragraphs are set to full width, but if you have 2 similar-sized paragraphs, you can set each to half width so they sit side by side. For this example, we're just going to select full width. Click Continue. Check the preview area for progress. Let's complete the form by adding a signature field. Click Add Content at the top of the section. Click Question Type and select Signature field from the choices. Let's mark this field required. Adding other type questions is virtually identical. You could add additional sections, or place a new subsection title and continue adding content. You might opt to save it as a standalone form that can be used alone or later grouped into a packet of forms. Below the preview, click Save Form. The Give this form a name modal appears. Enter the name of the form and click the Save to My Forms button. The form is saved to the My Forms section of your account in the Forms table at the bottom. You can use the pin function, which will add a pin to this form so that it appears at the top of your lists.